Hi guys, and welcome to the Sunderland vs Bradford match review. Now, at this point, I generally just can't help but laugh. There's only so many descriptive words and so many ways I can word a review. So this is probably going to be about 3-4 minutes. In all honesty, I just wanted to quickly go through it. I'm just doing it out of sort of niceness, if that's the way to put it. And I don't like to shy away from the camera purely because we lost or things are going wrong. But there's only so many ways I can describe the same performance over and over again. But of course, we played Bradford. And they were obviously they're in League 2, mid-table in League 2 at the minute. And in general, looking at it as a fixture isolated, it's a meaningless game, because, we're already through, Bradford are already out. So if anything, it's probably more meaningless for Bradford, because for us, we can still top the group. So at least there's something to go for there. And particularly for the first 45 minutes, Bradford were considerably the better side. Considerably. And this isn't us as well, fielding a side that's entirely full of youngsters. It wasn't. There was a large percentage of full strength players there. First team players. We still had Broadhead, who of course recently come back from injury, who was probably the only person on the pitch who comes away with anything from that game. We had Pritchard, we had Embleton, we had Dietrich, O'Nien in there, we had Sona, Richardson, Alves, Younger. We had Gooch as well in there, and Hoffman in goal. So there's plenty of first-team players in there, so there's no excuse, it's not as if we just fielded a completely youth-filled side. We didn't at all. We had 2-3 players in there from the youth side. Other than that, it was mainly a full-strength side, almost, anyway. And still, we looked considerably below par, considerably lesser than Bradford, who aren't on the best runs themselves. So it just goes to show again, and this isn't just an excuse for me to, again, say, Lee Johnson out, I'm not, because, the last video I made was, me discussing whether I am Lee Johnson in or Lee Johnson out. And that got mixed reviews, of course, and I get that. People who have a different opinion to me are going to dislike the video or comment certain things, and I get that. I 100% get that. Now, the thing is for me, and I've said in that video as well, I'm not the kind of, yes, I am on the side of Lee Johnson out, but I'm not the kind of Lee Johnson out where every single video I'm going to scream for his head. I'm not at that point, even though, I probably should be, but I'm not. And the reason I'm not at the kind of Parky out level that I was when obviously we were Parky out was because with Parky I didn't see any form of positivity almost throughout his stints. Whereas with Lee Johnson, for the opening 10-11 games, we could see what he's capable of bringing out of these lads. But what is so unbelievably worrying is the immediate downfall of these lads. The significant drop in performance is unreal. It is staggering. So for these lads to give out the performance, like I say, for the opening 45 minutes, where it's mainly all Bradford, we looked piss poor. Broadhead was running his socks off up top and he looked really, really lively. Everyone else is kind of wandering around. There's gaping holes all over the pitch. You got left down, right back, kind of all over the place. Gaping holes in the middle of defence as well. And they were just running the show. They looked really comfortable on the ball, really decent. And we looked like we were the League 2 side. And, that's all credit to Bradford because, as I say, with Bradford, it was probably more of a meaningless game to them because they're already out. Yet they shown more fight, determination, professionalism, and wanton will and desire. And we looked clueless and disinterested. And that's the harsh reality of it. That was the 45 minutes and they took the lead and they completely deserved it. I genuinely just didn't care. I was emotionless when the ball hit the back of the net for Bradford. And usually I'd be fuming, screaming and shouting. I just thought, I expect it. And for me, I just think Lee Johnson has 110% lost the dressing room. Something has happened. Something has happened. I've had messages on Instagram, even from other supporters and fans from other sides saying, you're fickle, or, every team loses 2 or 3 games every now and then. And that's just completely bypassing and missing the point. To go from the standard we were at, if we did lose 3-4 games on the bounce, regardless of who it was against, if we, for example, we dominated games, but we just didn't have that little rub of the green, that little bit of luck, and we were struggling to hit the back of the net, but then we were conceding the odd scruffy goal every now and then. You can kind of forgive it. Or if we're just competing in matches and then losing, fair enough, it can happen, or at least you can see what Lee Johnson's trying to work on the pitch. Right now, it looks as though we're just picking his 11 saying, go and do your thing. And that's it, because the performances, they look clueless. There's no other way to do it. There's no direction with the side. There's no leaders. It doesn't look like there's any form of instruction. This team has just been ripped of its personality. The opening 9-10 games, like I say, you can see what they were trying to do. But now, I don't know where that plan has gone. The confidence has completely gone in the players. Some of them look disinterested. They're passing the ball and there's no movement after it. There's no movement off the ball. You know, you've got players like Broadhead, who to be fair to him, is running his socks off. And in pieces as well, I think Pritchard as well, at times, even though his decision-making wasn't fantastic, his performance in general wasn't great, he was running his socks off as well. So I will give him that. But, you know, I can't say that this is an improvement. And I'm just clutching at straws and saying, oh, but he ran around and at least he tried a bit. Do you know what I mean? That isn't good enough. Me saying that we drew against Bradford in the Pizza Cup and lost on penalties and improvement, that's mental. That's absolutely fucking mental. And I'm not going to act as if that's all right, because it isn't. But again, it's a game that I didn't really care about. But, you know, and like I say, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't mean anything. Of course it doesn't. But it was a perfect opportunity to get back to winning ways, because now we have a big stretch of no games up until the 20th, where we had to obviously kind of regather ourselves, get back in the training field as well, and just try and clear the air, you know, clear the lads' heads. And then it was a big break before we can get back being fresh and going into the game against Ipswich, which is a massive game. But instead we've gone out on an absolute fucking whimper. Second half we slightly improved, you know, the back line, which was so deep in that first half, we asked for it against Bradford, with no disrespect for them, but still, you know, we've had Mansfield the other day, now Bradford now, both League 2 opposition. They've done us over, both of them. But like I say, the second half, we pushed up a little bit, the back line, and we pressed them a little bit more. We were asking a few more questions, putting more crosses in the box. And eventually, it's that little bit of quality we needed. It come from Broadhead. It was a ball over the top, inch perfect to be fair. It's a great ball, a great touch. He's brought it down out the air, just inside the box on the right-hand side, and he's pinged it from right to left into the bottom left-hand corner to make it 1-1. Then Lee Johnson immediately brings him off, which is, you know... I get it, he's not long come back from injury, but still, we just found it slightly humorous that the one lad that has done well, he just scored, he brought him off immediately. Harris come on, you know, later on in the game, Jacques was one-on-one with the keeper, and he's hit it straight at him, and the rebound comes up back to Will Harris, who has pretty much a gaping goal to aim for, but he heads it straight at the defender's legs. Unfortunate for him, really, of course, but it ended up going to penalties, and we lose. Gooch misses a pen, and they score theirs. So that's the way it is. It's poor. Now, this huge sort of time that we have now up until the Ipswich game, it could be used to find a new manager, but I don't think that's going to happen. But I've run out of ideas, or you know, to think of what this side can do, or a different system, or what, because they all look disinterested. And like I say, it looks like Johnson has completely lost the dressing room. I have no idea, so I'm sure he doesn't either. And it'll be very interesting to see what his post-match looks after this one, because I'm sick of him just throwing his fancy fucking words at us and just belittling us a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Trying to patronise us. It's as if he's come straight from a frigging slideshow and said, oh yes, I know these words, I know these words. Just tell it how it is. I'd have a little bit more respect for him, you know, if he come out and just said that was shit, and that was shit, and that was shit, and that wasn't good enough. You know, I prefer that, because it's honesty. Tell us what you think was wrong. Don't start saying, oh, well, this with the overload in the wrong areas and then they did this. Just shut up, man. Just speak normal. Do you know what I mean? We're normal human beings. Just fucking speak to us like humans. You know, but either way, it's another game. It's another loss. It's another embarrassment. And I don't know how long it'll go on for. I don't know what to suggest, guys. I don't. And I know I sound so defeated, but I am. I didn't want to make this video because it's just the same shit repeating itself. But that's it, guys. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like the video, please. It really is massively, massively appreciated at times like this. And subscribe if you're new. And take care and stay jammy.